Hello Internet, welcome to another episode of Wrong Show. Well, anyways, okay, well, I just thought I'd make a short video on my Valkyrie cosplay and my experience at Comic-Con Africa. I must say that it's been a very enlightening and a very enjoyable experience. It was very nice, but I'll start with the cosplay first, okay? I decided to do Valkyrie. Basically, I just really like her character. You know, she's like a person who's just like full of contradictions. You know, like she's this warrior, an elite warrior of Asgard. You know, leader of the Valkyria, but she just has so many emotional problems stemming from her last encounter with Hela. Yeah, so. As a result, she was PTSD, traumatized, and she left Asgard altogether and disappeared and just, you know, spent all this time in Sakaar, just living her life as a scrapper and just drinking, etc., you know. Just basically hiding from her own emotional pain, okay? So obviously, you guys seen the movie, she comes into contact with Thor at some stage and he kind of helps her to face her own demons, yeah. So she actually fully learns to embrace, you know, her destiny as a warrior and a protector of Asgard as well. So yeah, Tessa Thompson was awesome as a Valkyrie, and just like every scene in the movie with her in it was just awesome and funny. Yeah, so basically the cosplay took me about 6 weeks to make, okay? I used mainly EVA foam, right? 3mm and 5mm EVA foam to carve the armor pieces, and then I used fabric, grey spandex to be more exact, for the jumpsuit, furniture leather, and satin, blue satin for the cape. Okay. So it was a very fun experience. It's a lot of hard work. There were times where I was up at 2 o'clock in the morning just reworking some of the details here and there, okay? However though, oh yeah, and another thing, before I forget, I made Dragon Fang from, this is basically a wooden laminated sheet or panel, right? Like for laminated flooring, okay? This is what it actually looked like, right? And then this is actually masking tape, right? It's masking tape that I put on so I could actually sketch the pattern of the sword. Okay. So yeah, and I used a jigsaw to cut it. And yeah, it was a very interesting learn. I've cut wood before with a jigsaw. Yeah, but I just thought, okay, Dragon Fang is a very thin sword, okay? And, okay, so I thought that, okay, well, let me play around with ideas of like using perspex, for instance. So that was basically plan A for the actual sword blade. And it was a disaster. Like I got a certain way with actually cutting the perspex, but at some point it just cracked in very strategic places and broke off. So I was like, you know, it's nah, you know, it's no. Okay, so it's back to wood, and yeah, I used shout out to the guy at the wooden laminated flooring shop who actually gave me the free panel. Yeah, I still actually have to pop in and actually show him the final results, but I'll probably do that on Monday or something. Yeah, yeah. So it was very interesting. I was able, the wood from the laminated floorboard was actually able to withstand the sawing pressure and force of the jigsaw. So I was able to actually successfully cut the shape. And then I used a sander to further smooth the edges. Then I basically used 2 coats of rubber dip primer and some blue spray paints. Yeah, so Rust-Oleum glitter was the final coat that I used, okay, to give it that nice shiny finish, because in the movie it has that beautiful electro blue color and it has that beautiful shimmer, so it actually comes out quite nicely in the pictures as well. So yeah. Okay, yeah, so this is basically the foam material I used. I used the local supplier, okay, John Moffat Prolock, to order 2 separate sheets of EVA foam, okay. By the way, EVA stands for ethyl vinyl acetate, yeah. Or what is it, ethylene vinyl acetate, but yeah, EVA foam, okay. So this is a very pliable material that you can use, especially when it basically is submitted to heat from a heat gun. It bends and you can basically shape it. However, if it's anything that I've actually learned, because now this is my 3rd round with trying to do armoured cosplays. Armoured cosplays are a real challenge, okay? And I suppose it requires practice over and over again and experience. So over the last 3 years, I've done, was it 3 years? Actually 2 years, okay. I attempted first. My first attempt with armoured cosplay was Gamora, the Infinity suit, okay. And that one was a complete flop. I have another video on the other channel where I basically go through what went wrong when I attempted that armoured cosplay in the beginning. And yeah, and then my second attempt with armoured cosplays was with Wonder Woman, and that was a success at least.
New music is our gift to the free world. Our freedom of expression is only limited by our creativity. So we stand together, and because of it, our voices are unlimited.
Okay, and yeah, I enjoyed it. It actually didn't take as long, although it needed more hours of work, because sadly, the bad thing about doing armoured cosplays is that you need warbler, you know. I understand the other cosplayers will probably give you a different opinion, but I'm just going on my own experience, okay? Warbler thermoplastic is just the best when it comes to retaining and maintaining the shape of foam, okay? EVA foam, on the other hand, especially if it's a low density, but this is actually high density EVA foam, even if it's very thin, okay? Even if you use high density EVA foam, it's not guaranteed that you'll basically hold the shape, and at times you may have to actually go over it again with the heat gun so that it actually retains its shape, okay, even after priming and painting, okay? Because I noticed that with my thigh pieces, and that was my biggest concern yesterday when I attended Comic-Con, was strapping, and also the thigh pieces actually started to fan out again instead of actually going over the actual thigh, okay? So maybe, I don't know, I probably should have spent more time shaping it and, you know, basically holding it so that it actually stays, you know, concave like this, so that it goes nicely over the thigh. Yeah, but over time then it just went back to that flat shape. So yeah, man, like I'm tired. I'm not using EVA foam ever again for armoured cosplays, if at all, and strapping as well. Oh, strapping was such an issue, okay? I had to use staples, okay, to keep the elastic bands. The elastic bands at least helped with actually keeping the pieces in place, okay? But I also used Velcro as well. But yeah, when it comes to strapping, oh man, it's such an issue, you know, and like having to gain and lose weight, it fits last week the way it was supposed to, then you lose weight, now it's kind of loose. So, ooh, headache. So I actually figured, like, I watched the film like so many times, Thor Ragnarok, and I figured that the best way, if you're actually going to do an armored suit cosplay, and especially if it's going to be a very tight-fitting utility military type suits, okay, you know, the best way to do is just use the thinnest possible EVA foam that you can find. Okay, this is 3mm, right? So I don't know if there's any but this is probably the best bet, okay, when it comes to suits. You use this, and then after priming and painting, okay, and shaping and everything, okay, you basically sew it onto the actual fabric instead of actually strapping it on. That way it's guaranteed that it will actually stay put, and it's not likely to basically relapse into its old shape again because of temperature and pressure, etc. You know, these are chemicals at the end of the day that are going to interact with the environment, okay? So I think that's definitely something I've learned now on my 3rd run doing armored cosplays, okay? The best thing to do, the most resistant thing is Warbler thermoplastic. Yeah. Now, I wanted to use Warbler thermoplastic, but the issue was that nobody in South Africa locally supplies Warbler, or nobody that I know of yet. I've tried to actually look for several places, and they sell variations of thermoplastic but not Warbler. Warbler is just basically sawdust and thermoplastic, and they've basically molded it together and made it into sheets with an adhesive on one side. Yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely going to import it the next time if I'm thinking of doing that. Okay. Although my main concern with Warbler is that it's good maybe for breastplates, okay, but I don't think I'll be able to sew through it. Who knows, we'll try it one of these days, like after you've actually done the Warbler, and then try, yeah, no. So yeah, that's just the best thing. And yeah, armored cosplays, yeah, they take up a lot of time, they're very time consuming, and it's very stressful because half of the time, especially if you've entered a competition, you're also thinking about, okay, are the straps fitting perfectly, okay, and movement as well, okay, because you don't want it to look very clunky and clumsy and kind of all over the place, okay. Whereas if the actual foam pieces are sewn onto the fabric, they stay. Yeah, even if you pose and you move in it, it's really great for mobility, etc. So I think, yeah, I'll definitely keep that in mind the next time I attempt to do an armored cosplay. So this took a lot out of me mentally and emotionally. Yeah, it really did. It took a lot out of me mentally and emotionally. So I think what I'll do next time is, like, there's another convention coming up, Rage, and for that I'm just going to be chilled and relaxed. I won't say what cosplay I'm doing, it's going to be a surprise. So yeah, I think the key to really enjoying cosplay is basically just the less complicated it is, the better. And yeah, the armored cosplays are just really better for seasoned professionals, people who've just been doing this for like 10 years plus. They've had every type of wardrobe malfunction that you could possibly think of, and they know exactly how to counter that. But I think through the 2 years that I've been doing this, I've definitely learned a lot, and I know next time, the next armored cosplay I'm planning to do is Proxima Midnight from the Infinity War movie. I think I know exactly now how to tackle that one, strapping and armor wise, and attachments, etc., and how it fits onto the body, etc. So I don't think I should actually have any issues with that one. It will probably be my first real successful armored cosplay. That will be super comfy, and I won't have any issues or insecurity that there's one piece hanging loosely and it's not fitting, or it's rebelling. It's just, even if you try and tuck it in somewhere and it just comes loose. Oh. So yeah, so that's what doing the Valkyrie cosplay has actually taught me. And I made my first real cosplay sword, although with this I'm yet to actually still work on the actual pattern. I used furniture leather, but all of this is just really a learning curve. But I was really happy with the shape and the color and how it came out. I was actually able to stick to the pattern. It's not perfect, okay, but you know, if you hold it up, people recognize like, yeah, that's actually Dragon Fang. Dragon Fang in the movie is actually much smaller, but I made it larger because it looks nice, you know, for effect, okay? And I'm much taller than Tessa Thompson, so a short little bladed sword wouldn't really quite look right, okay? So I decided to just make it longer. I extended the length, and definitely wood is the go-to. The next challenge when it comes to making cosplay swords from wood is to make a glowing one. Dun dun dun. That is going to be something, yeah. So we'll see. Next year I have a list of cosplays that I definitely want to attempt, but make a glowing. I've always wanted to make a glowing sword, but I know that this time perspex is definitely out of the question. When using perspex, rather just take it to a professional laser cutter. Yeah, that's just the best solution when it comes to perspex. Yeah. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.